Last minute, been invited on a climbing trip, and here I am as the wrangler helping out. Alright, so this is spur of the moment. Just got invited to go up that mountain right there with Cleaver. Say hello, Cleaver. My friend Cleaver Mandura is a certified mountain guide, lives up in Ausangate, and he and his client Will and I are going climbing. Here we are at the first overlook of the 7 lakes. I've just grabbed some of my gear from the house. We're loading up the horses and we are heading up. Wow! It's mi amigo Will. Tatanka. ¿Qué quiere decir al mundo, Will?
Que yo quiero paz para el mundo, que se le acaben las guerras.
Amén. Look at that snow getting blown off the backside of Ausangate and so far up into the air. That is some serious wind. We are definitely experiencing some wind today. That's Hampus. We're gonna climb up there tomorrow. And we just made it to base camp.
Wow.
How do you feel? ¿Cómo sientes? Muy bien. Cleaver lent me these boots to climb up. You'll hear about these boots later on in the story. Cleaver, Will, and I are here at the base camp for Hampus. Behind me, this is Ausangate, but Hampus up here. We're gonna climb up that tomorrow. So I've been working with nose breathing as a physical trigger to remind me to bring my consciousness back into the present and into the seat of awareness. So this trip is going to be a practice in nose breathing and consciousness, present consciousness with others. Well, we got up at 2:15, just a little after 3, and now we're heading up for the cumbre, for the peak. Well, we made it to the base of the glacier. It's time to gear up and get ready for some climbing. Cleaver, where are we?
We're in Kampa Mountain.
Kampa Mountain. And what peak is this behind us?
Ausangate.
Ausangate. What's the elevation of Ausangate?
Ausangate it is over 6,384 meters.
Very good. And the elevation of the peak that we're gonna go to?
It's 5,500 meters.
Very good. Beautiful morning. We're all here. William, Cleaver, myself, we're all roped up, tied together, and heading for the summit. The sunrise is just starting to touch the peak of Ausangate. And just above us, you can see the second and final crux to get to the summit of Hampas Mountain. Sunrise. Sunrise. Hampas Pass, 5,500 meters. This is the highest I've ever been in my life without the use of drugs. And it's a gorgeous morning up here. And now we're heading back down. Just above me, you can see the crux, the rock climbing section. That was the second crux before we got to the top. That was the first crux we have to go through to get back down. There was a second group that met us up on the summit, and you can see them above the crux right now. We're waiting for them to come down. And this was the first crux that we did in the morning. So this is the second crux going down. This is our party heading back down.
Uno video, cumbre de campa. Dale.
Up there's the glacier where we put on our crampons, and we've just taken them off and headed back down. We need to go down this main trail around the corner and back to our base camp, where we are planning on having some food and breaking down camp. All right, back at camp. It's time to eat some bread and avocado and break down the tents and head out. What do you have to say? What do you have to say, Cleaver?
Huh?
What do you have to say?
About our summit?
Yeah.
It was really nice experience.
Nice experience, definitely.
Now we are
Dale.
campsite.
Logramos.
So I just got back to the house about 30 minutes ago, and quite tired, excited to have some lunch. I haven't eaten a whole lot today. I did have some Ausangate Life Energy food and the cacao energy discs, and some bread with palta, avocado. A little recap on the experience. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I haven't really touched a rope or any ice equipment in 15 years. So I really enjoyed the experience and was very grateful to be invited along on the trip. For the most part, had a good experience with like the nose breathing. I'm noticing that connecting the practice to a physical attribute such as nose breathing helps bring the consciousness back. So it's almost like training myself to nose breathe, but every time I notice that I'm nose breathing, realize that I'm bringing the consciousness back into the inner seat. Yeah, it's much better. It's much better. With groups of people, it's a little bit difficult. The nose breathing, there was even sections today at the first part of the glacier where I just couldn't stay roped up with the three of them and keep nose breathing and keep up. So I had to breathe through my mouth just for a little while. But then the further up that we went, the more in rhythm I got, and I was able to stay in nose breathing the rest of the time, and it was really nice. Pull the keep pulling the consciousness back in, just staying super present, just ecstatic, enjoying the experience fully. Yeah, nice little meditation on the summit, sunrise, super high energy. Everybody was feeling good and excited. I've been doing a lot of bouldering, so the climbing we did today, I would have felt comfortable. I'd feel comfortable going back up there with just crampons myself and an ice axe and doing the same route. I found it to be very enjoyable and very comfortable. But it was fun to be roped up as well and to have that experience. I had an interesting experience, and it was about some boots. And my buddy Cleaver, he lent me some climbing boots yesterday. I didn't realize that the crampons that he was lending me would be compatible with my solo hiking boots. And so he lent me these, I think they're Vasque, alpineering boot. Super heavy, very heavy boot. Oversized, probably like two sizes too big for me. And I thought that's what I had to use today. And, hiking up from base camp to the glacier to where I was going to change out and put on the equipment was excruciating. The boots weighed so much and my backpack was just weighing so much, and I was feeling like really kind of, I could feel a lot of negative emotions from the past coming up. And I think those are past experiences where I didn't feel good enough, or was in that egotistical competitive state. And so I could feel those past emotions coming up, and I was trying to stay in the nose breathe and just breathe through it and accept it and keep the heart open, allow the energy to flow and hopefully out. And I had this epiphany, like a spiritual metaphor. And I was like, okay, so maybe these boots are kind of like all that I'm carrying from the past. And when I get to the glacier, when I get to some point in my life, it's gonna serve me for some reason. And actually it was ironic, because when I started thinking like that, my backpack started feeling less heavy. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'm just carrying this along until I need it, and it's gonna serve me somehow. And then I got up to the glacier, and I put the boots on with a pair of socks that are so thick. I mean, they're really thick socks that I can't wear any of my other shoes with these socks. Like, no way. They boost up like a size and a half on my foot. They're so thick. So I put these socks on, I put these boots on, and I felt like a cyborg. Like, they were so stiff and so heavy. And, the tongue was biting into the front of my shin when I would lean forward. And I was thinking to myself, there is no way I'm going to be able to hike up. I mean, I could, but it's going to be extremely painful. Hike up this glacier and some rock that we had to scramble across and up with these boots. I felt like the boots were actually dangerous for me. So I was kind of stumped. I was like, oh, what am I going to do? And then I realized that the crampons that I had were compatible with my hiking boots, and I was like, oh great, I've got gaiters, I put these on, everything's good, lightweight, perfect. And I felt so much more comfortable. Some of the rock climbing that we had to do with crampons on, I would not have felt as comfortable with those big heavy boots that were so stiff and it just felt dangerous, like cyborg dangerous. So if anybody out there can come up with a really good spiritual metaphor for why those boots were in my backpack, weighing me down all the way up to the glacier. It was like an hour, a good hour and a half from the tent up to the glacier, and never got used. Please share it with me. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, the rest of the experience was absolutely top-notch, amazing. Yeah, super excited. Hey, thanks for joining me again and tuning in. From the house here, you can see Hampas Pass, and that is Hampas Mountain. That's the peak we were on this morning. Love and blessings to you all.